Hello everybody, it's Jay, and we are back in OCRP, doing a little Blaine County Sheriff's Office action. So, we're going to be driving the Durango today with a slick top. So let's head on over here and get some gas. What is going on here? We'll see what we can get into today.
County 187, can I get an additional to 1036 Alhambra at the 24/7?
145, I'll be 51.
311's 10-8.
.45 on 97.
I'm still not hearing you, sir. I hear everyone else but you. Do you want to get his license? I pulled up to ask what was going on with the red truck as he was parked in the middle of the road, and the guy in the hat and the suspenders came up to me and just said, "Hey, you got a gun?"
Did I be
Why
heard
are they?
now?
Yeah, you can. You're good.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
No, okay.
Okay, I apologize. I was having something in my throat, you know, like a frog in my throat.
That's the first time
No
you've been
worries.
live. I understand.
What's going on today?
Scary.
Well, see, now I can't hear this officer here.
Yeah.
I can't either.
I'm sorry, sir. I really can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
All right. So, sorry, Mr. Larry. What was that?
I'm saying he did have a musket.
A musket.
Yes.
All
And his
right.
finger was on the trigger the whole time. In fact, I pointed it out to my live audience.
Okay, so you have video proof of it.
I do actually have video proof of it. Yes.
Alrighty. Deputy, if you want to see if you can see that video, and I'm gonna go talk to our buddy over here.
Alright, what was he doing with the musket?
He was just showing it.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't point it at anybody or anything. He's just showing it.
Okay.
Well, here's the deputy. If you want to come over by my car, I'll talk to you.
I'll be right back, gentlemen. What do you got?
So, if this is the gentleman I think it is, I've actually arrested him for it because this will be his third charge for brandishing a weapon, and he doesn't have a license for it.
Alright, well, I mean, it's,
So he is a felon for it, so.
the musket, I mean, does the musket fall under the antique weapons law? I mean, you don't really need to worry too much about licensing and stuff like that for an antique weapon.
Units at the 24/7 U code for.
Yeah, we're code 4.
They don't think so. I've been arrested
Yeah.
for it twice.
That's a fair point. But I do, because I passed one time, I passed him. He was holding it up in the air the last time I arrested him for it, but he does have 2 counts of he does have felonies, so.
Okay, who's...
So he shouldn't have a weapon at all.
Who's the one with the musket?
The gentleman standing against the truck, the shirtless one.
Blonde mullet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's 2 of them shirtless.
All right. I mean, let's go talk to him and see what's going on.
Yeah. All right. If I can get you 3 gentlemen to step over there by the wall for me.
Remember what I told your viewers earlier.
Alrighty, sir. So
What? What was that?
I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before.
I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people.
Actually, it was right across the street from here when I arrested you for the musket.
What about it?
You are not supposed to have a musket.
Why?
You are a felon.
Oh, okay, but do you have proof I had it this time? Because last time, I will give you props. You drove by and saw it in my hands, but did you see it in my hands?
I have 2 people that just told me, and I have video proof of it.
There's no musket on me.
To tell you all that.
Oh my god.
Oh.
My
God.
I'm trying to get to my dad.
Stay right here.
Hey, Dad.
You give me
How you doing, Bill? How was your
Hey, since you live.
How was your trip in Italy?
Well, it was good.
The cabin.
I did a
Oh,
little
my
better
dear.
this time. I finished 6.
Yeah, I heard you were doing the pallet racing.
What happened?
Yeah,
What
the
did we
track.
say about him on that?
It's really taking off. It's like the pickleball.
Oh, by the way, my chat is just saying going crazy, Bill.
Oh, well, hello,
Larry,
everybody.
I'm on what?
You're on CNT Live right now. We're live streaming.
What is that?
It's when you like you take your camera and you connect it to the internet, and everything your camera's seeing, other people are seeing all in real time, and then there's a little chat box off to the side, and they can talk to you. I don't know. The millennials do it all the time, so I'm trying it out here.
Sir, can I just take a moment of your time?
Oh, this cop wants to talk to you. Like,
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Do you have the video of him queued up that we can see him actually with the
Have you
musket?
been getting my messages?
Oh, yeah. Hold on just a second here.
Sure.
I ain't talking to me.
well, we should walk over here if we want.
Okay, I think you can see it right here. So we were talking about, he doesn't like the officers by any means. He was wanting to tell everybody that. So then he's like, wait, hold on a second. Runs around behind the back of his truck and then comes back out just carrying this musket. He was talking about his license plate. If you read his license plate, I think that pretty much tells you everything you need to know.
All right. Let's see here.
But yeah, you can see he's just holding the musket. He never points it, but right here, I zoom in on his trigger finger. It's actually resting on the trigger. He did say there was no gunpowder in there, but there was a ball and some wad.
All right. I appreciate that, sir. Is that on?
No problem.
Is that on the internet where like I could just access it freely?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It's we're live streaming right now, so you can actually rewind it.
Oh, perfect, Tom. Hi, CNT. All right. I appreciate you,
saying
sir.
hi back.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, look, Deputy Chief even says the cop speaks. Apparently, you had a frog in your throat.
Yeah, wrong voice box. That's
Oh, it happened to me earlier. No,
Yeah.
no worries on it.
All right, I appreciate it. Are you going to be hanging out for a minute, just in case we have any other questions?
Oh, yeah. I'll be over here.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
I definitely would not look back there. Because you do not have probable cause.
Hey, man, what's your name, man? I haven't met you before.
Mine?
Yeah.
My name's Chase Cash. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Chase. My name is Deputy Larson. I'm obviously with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office. Listen, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's some live streaming going on over here behind us.
Yeah?
And clear as day on the live stream, I got you walking around with a musket in your hand.
That's a prop weapon. Ain't real.
It ain't real. All right. Is it somewhere I can take a look at it to confirm that?
It depends. It depends on what that officer comes back and says.
Okay. Well, what's he checking on right now?
Well, I told him not to look in the back of the truck, but you can look in the cabin of the truck. But I said don't look in the back of the truck. So don't look in the back of the truck in the bed. Don't look there.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna look. I'm kind of coming in third party just trying to help out a little bit here and there. So, but have you been arrested for this before? It sounds like you've been arrested for it before.
Yeah, I've been. They took it from me the first time because I discharged it some shit. I was on my own property, and I shot it, and they arrested me for it.
Yeah.
And I had it out over there. I wasn't shooting anybody. I didn't shoot it at all. I didn't do nothing, and they arrested me for it.
All right. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, even on your own property in a populated area, you know, you can't be discharging a weapon.
They said they discharged it in the city limits.
Yeah, and then
The second time is because I was a felon.
yeah, and that kind of sounds like what he's kind of alluding to here.
But what if it's an antique? Isn't it? Don't I get some sort of right if it's an antique? It's a musket. Come on, how much can I really do with a musket?
I mean, they were pretty deadly back in the Civil War, right?
The Revolutionary War, but if you try to
There we
go to
go,
war with
Revolution.
them now, you ain't gonna get too. I mean, they were in the Civil. They were a little different in the Civil War because they had
Yeah.
different bullets. They didn't always use the ball. Let me show you. You see my tattoo on my back? This big old American eagle.
Oh yeah, it's impressive ink, by the way.
Thank you. I like memorabilia, and I got a couple. I mean, I've seen a couple of them, and they are awesome. And I thought there was some sort of antique law that said I could have them.
Yeah,
Even if
I'd
I
have
was
to.
present.
I'd have to dig a little bit more into that antique law. Like I know that you can own an antique weapon without having a firearm license, but I don't know about the owning one as a felon.
What if I said it does not have powder in it? What if it's just balls?
I mean, it's still kind of, you know, if you've got it, it still can be used as a weapon. Just because it is a gun, whether it's got a firearm or powder in it or anything.
Hey, deputy.
Yeah.
Do you
But
want
that pisses off
to
theoretically.
search him and see if he has any weapons on him? Now, I'm gonna go inside and check the 24/7 cameras.
You can search me. I give you consent.
All right. Let me just give me just a second here.
I got my wallet in my back pocket.
All right. All right, Chase, you can go put your hands down for me, man. All right, I'll tell you what. Hang out here in front of your truck. All right, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over to my cruiser over there. I'm gonna do a little bit of googling, and
Am I allowed to socialize with them gentlemen, or do you want me strictly in front of the truck?
I mean, I don't see any harm. It didn't sound like you were trying to threaten anybody or anything like that. So, I don't see any harm. But, you know, if one of the other deputies comes by and asks you to stand somewhere else, you know, just listen to him.
Alrighty.
He's gonna go socialize. I'm gonna do some googling, and see if I can figure out some intricacies of the antique firearm law.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with 187. What exactly happened here?
So, Chase Cash, blonde mullet dude, no shirt, lots of tattoos.
Got it.
Apparently, the old guy with the bushy beard, I think that might be Larry Berry. I haven't seen him in a while. But he's live streaming to CNT right now and has him on live stream with his, you know, the musket in his hand with the finger on the trigger. Chase is saying that if he had it, it's a prop or it's didn't have powder in it, and it is an antique. So I don't know how that actually plays into all the law.
I would say if it has a firing pin, I'm pretty sure it's classified as not a prop and actually as a firearm.
Right, but I know, like with antique guns, you don't necessarily need a license to own them. So I'm just trying to see how that goes with felons. You know how that plays in with a felon.
I don't know. Obviously the license. I think, as far as I'm aware, that even though it's an antique, it's still considered if it's a usable firearm, it still would be in violation of the felon rule because it's usable.
Right. Let me just jump on the computer here. You guys, I'll let you guys do your thing. Let me just see what the old Google says.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back.
Be on traffic 919 Joshua Road southbound with a red Prius.
All right. So we're digging a little bit into felon in possession of a firearm, and it actually looks like he might be good if it's truly an antique weapon. Oops, that's not case.
Warning, armed.
If it's truly an antique weapon, federal law does not prohibit a felon from possessing or receiving an antique firearm. Manufactured in or before 1898. Any firearm including a matchlock, flintlock, percussion cap, or similar type ignition system. So that would be the oh my god, words. The gun that he is supposed to have here. So all right, let's go back and let's just make sure he doesn't have any warrants, because that would... Arrest license vehicle. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go talk to these guys.
Blaine County Police.
Like you said, you're just being detained currently, okay?
You gotta put me in the car?
Oh, that's up to him.
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to be put in the car.
All right, what did you figure out?
All right, direct from the ATF. Federal law does not prohibit these persons from possessing or receiving an antique firearm. Antique firearm means any firearm, including any firearm with a matchlock, flintlock, percussion cap, or similar type ignition system, which would be this musket, manufactured in or before 1898. So,
what does the state statute say in relation to antiques and felons? Anything?
yeah, I'm digging through that. I'm just it's a whole lot of let's see. Yeah, so in San Andreas, it says it is illegal for Florida, or for San Andreas, for convicted felons to possess firearms, including muzzle-loading guns, unless they have had their civil rights restored or the gun qualifies as an antique firearm. So if it qualifies as the antique firearm, which would be, barrel-loaded and manufactured before 1898, he's actually good to go.
Well, let's see if it's got a number on it or anything like that, and go from there. And what was it? 1890 what?
1898 on or before, or during or before 1898 for manufacture.
Okay. Well, let's. Where's
it
that
also
gun?
cannot be modified.
It's under the back seat in the back of the truck.
Well, let's do some digging.
Yeah. So if it's modified at all, that takes away the antique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he grabbing the platinum musket?
Yeah, actually, yeah, he is.
All right, Chase. Let me ask you a couple questions here. All right. It doesn't pertain to the investigation too much, but I am going to read you your rights here real quick. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You do have the right to have an attorney present during any questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, the state of San Andreas will provide you with one at no cost to you. At any time during questioning, if you would like to have an attorney present, you are able to invoke that right. Understanding your rights as I've read them to you, do you wish to answer any questions?
What questions do you got?
All right, well, so the law is actually a little on your side here as far as the antique firearms go. So I just want to know a little bit more about the weapon.
What questions?
So, do you have, how did you come in, first off, just for my sake, how did you come into possession of it? Was it like handed down?
So, my grandfather was like a Revolutionary War and Civil War, like, antique collector. He has like uniforms and all that, and he had a big crate of these muskets that he had got. I don't know where he got them from, but he had a big crate, like hay and everything, like how they used to deliver them in the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bunch of them. Now I don't think all of them were from the Civil War. I think they were just like built or like packaged up to look like they were. But I have a couple of them. Well, I did have a couple of them. They're cooking 3 right now, actually.
Okay. You haven't modified any of them, have you?
Hell no. Them things are worth more than probably my life. Definitely more than my trailer and my truck.
No,
Okay.
that was Josh.
All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. All right. They're giving the musket, a good once over. All right. Right now, according to the federal law and San Andreas state law, as long as there's no modification to it that we can find, you may not have any issue with the fact that you own the weapon, but we may have that option to cite you for the unlawful display of the weapon. So it's kind of taking it out here in public. That would be an issue.
Now, what is what's the date for the gun?
So yeah, anything manufactured before 1898 or during or before 1898 would be considered antique. That's also muzzle loaded and like flintlock type.
Oh, all right. They said it was an antique whenever I went to the pawn shop because I was gonna try to get some money out of it.
Okay. So we're just gonna figure out here, if it, like I said, if it's truly antique, we'll get you out of here with that, and we'll talk about the unlawful display. But just sit tight with me a few more minutes here while they look over the musket, and we'll get all that figured out.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll be right back, Chase.
What was the year again?
1898.
98. Well, it's got mods, but it's 1899, so.
Oh my god. Oh man.
I don't know what to do now.
Well, it's.
Because technically it doesn't, but it's like splitting hairs,
Right.
And it's January 1st of 99, so it's
so
one
like
day
a day
sooner.
Okay, gotcha.
So I
guess we can use
another felony or like just what's a day.
we could always just kind of like the officer discretion out with the firearm and just kind of maybe write them a citation for unlawful display.
Did the video show you anything?
Oh yeah, he's got it out and he's showing it off. He's not pointing it at anybody. His finger's on the trigger, so poor trigger discipline. But,
so what if we did this? We went and did the displaying of it, the brandishing, and we just seized the firearm, didn't write him or arrest him for the. Again, it's splitting hairs. We didn't arrest him for the felon rule. We just seized it for. It's going to be used for evidence anyways in the brandishing case, and with it being a day, I think the DA and the court would agree that we don't have to trump him up on another felony.
Absolutely.
We just seize it from him so he doesn't have it, so someone else doesn't, like 405 or 80 or 50, trump him up on every charge in the world.
Yeah. If it if we kind of put that lesson into him, and he kind of gets his life straightened out a little bit, especially when it comes to the firearms, he can actually have his privileges to own these weapons restored. So.
Yeah. So why don't we do that? Why don't we write him for the brandishing? We won't charge him the felony for possession of it because it's a day. We'll just take it as evidence, and after the case is done, it'll just be destroyed or auctioned off or whatever.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, yeah.
And it's kind of a win-win for everyone. He doesn't get trumped up with a felony and get the 3 strikes rule, He's already been charged twice.
And none of us have to put him in the back of his car and drive him anywhere.
Exactly, and
just starting.
Yeah, I like it.
I can hear you over there.
Nothing against it, Chase. I don't like paperwork.
Unless you want to go get a new hotel room.
Stand up, dude.
I gotta go take a phone call. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'll explain what's gonna happen here.
Yellow. All right. Yep. Love you too. Bye.
He used to go to like Civil War reenactment, and they had like crates, like how they had back in the Civil War days, and he just had a crate of them, I guess.
And it's not that you get another one. Just get one that's one day older than the one you currently have.
You can do anything to that musket. Please do not destroy it.
Well, it'll be up to the county. It'll probably, because it is an antique and they are collectible, it'll probably go up to auction, and someone that's able to possess it legally will be able to buy it.
Chase, I'll give you my advice. All right. My advice is going to be this: it's got to be used at least for evidence in this case. Okay. So get yourself an attorney, somebody who can have them hold the evidence and do all that. Have that attorney kind of help you get your record cleaned up a little bit. Go a little bit without a gun crime. You can actually get your right to own firearms restored.
Yeah, very, very easily. You just have to kind of prove that you aren't in trouble anymore. You aren't out shooting at things that aren't supposed to be shot at, or
and none of us here think you're a bad person. In fact, I if I could, I'd send you home with the weapon. I legally cannot let you go home with this weapon. Okay.
It's fine. Like I say, you can take the gun. I just they don't destroy it.
Oh no. If you don't get it back, it'll get auctioned off, and somebody else will get it. And
yeah, like I said, with it being an antique and that old, someone in a collectible, someone's bound to want it. So it'll go to a good home, I'm sure. All right. Well, I think. What was that?
I was gonna say, I think the officer over there these are his cuffs.
Yeah, he's writing your stuff up. I'll take him off for you.
Alrighty.
All right. Hang out here. He'll be right back. Like I said, he's gonna write you the notice to appear for the brandishing there. I guess I didn't see the footage, but I guess you were you don't have great trigger discipline either. So
I wish I knew how to have trigger discipline.
Listen, I hear you, man. I hear you.